Anybody who's just, and make sure you leave your questions in the chat, and I'll get to them at the end of the video. Let's give the people a couple more minutes to get in before we get started. I don't want to take off running with too much information. Somebody get in here late, like, what happened? It's cool. What's up, everybody? Good? If y'all can hear me good, put a 1 in the chat. Make sure my sound is good. Let me know y'all can hear me. Hey, Pops, what's going on? Man, I got something for you. How you feeling today? Make it to the live video tonight. Mook, what's going on? All right. Let's give it a couple more minutes. I'm sure some people are gonna be here in a minute. All right, let's get started then. Shoot, they'll catch up when we get in here. All right, so today's video is about getting yourself to be able to stop having to start over. So a lot of times we got to stop and start, you know, and we'll fall off for whatever reasons. And the thing is about falling off, you know, you gotta dig back deep into what's going on about why you're falling off versus just, you know, I just stopped because something came up, life came up. It's always a lot deeper than that. It's never just that simple. And there's a real reason that you probably can't get in shape. And it's within you. It's not just something that somebody else knows. And I'm not going to give a secret tip or nothing like that. The thing is, you know exactly what it is that you need to do. But we got to figure out a way to make it actually get done. You see what I'm saying? All right. So the first thing I want to point out is you have to have a realistic plan in the first place. Like you got to have a plan of what you're going to do in your workouts. You got to take into account everything, your lifestyle, you know, the way you eat. You got to take into account, you know, where you live, how often you can go to the gym. Take all this into account, because what you're going to do is you're going to have to formulate a plan that works, you know, regardless of those circumstances. And it still has to be a highly effective plan, you know, regardless of whatever else of frivolous things you have. You got to have a high quality program, right? And so that way you can maximize the time that you do have available to you, versus trying to, you know, jump back and forth and stuff like that. Because, you know, when you don't have something to stick to, you can be easily distracted when you go in the gym. You go in there, you don't know what to do. And then it's like, well, I got to start from scratch again. But that's because you didn't have something that you were supposed to be sticking to, right? And so what I mean by having a realistic plan, of course, like I said, is making sure that it's something that you can physically do, something that you can essentially commit to consistently, because you have to be able to commit to it consistently in order to see the results from it, right? And keep that in mind, because I'm going to bring that back up again. All right, now the second thing is, in the gym, you have to stick to your principles. Okay, stick to your principles and make a checklist, and make every workout extremely focused. What I tend to notice is, like, sometimes you'll go into the gym and you'll see people doing different styles of workouts all the time, you know, and doing one thing one day. Over here, you're doing a power day, then you got a bodybuilding day, then you got a cardio day, then you got this kind of day. Like, that stuff is too mismatched. You see what I'm saying? You got to have something that's consistent, concise, and you know what you're doing it for, so that can get you to your goals. But the thing is, though, a lot of times when you're trying to stick to your principles, you don't really know if it's going to turn out that way. Like, maybe you can't see the end. Maybe you can't see exactly what it's supposed to be and what it's going to turn into. And so it's hard for you to commit to it, because you're not really sure if you're actually going to get to your best on this program or with this style or whatever. But here's the thing, like, a lot of us have been in the gym before, and we've gotten in shape, and we've tasted what it was like to get in shape or to look like the way you want to look towards. And so the thing is, a lot of times you already know what it is to do. It's not something that's like, you know, oh, I got to come up with a new program. If you think back into your database of exercises or the best times where you were able to really, you know, look your best and feel your best. Think about all the workouts you were doing. Think about the way you were eating. Think about like how consistent you were. Think about all those things because that's your program. You got to make a program that's customized for yourself, but just because you customize a program doesn't mean it's going to work. You have to stick to it because the thing is everything can work. You can have any program you want to, but it's going to work, but you have to stick to it. You can't just jump into something and think that okay, this program is going to work because I saw so and so do it. It could, but essentially, you got to be able to stay on it for a long period of time in order to be able to see the desired results. Because if you get into it, you start and you fall off, and try to start again, that program will never work anyway. So nothing will ever work essentially. You see what I mean? Unless you stick to it consistently. Now, let's talk about why you can't stick to something. Why? What's the problem? What's going on? How come you know what to do? Like we're all on this channel. We know how to get in shape. Like on paper, okay, you got to do this, you got to eat like this, you got to do this. So what's the problem? What's the problem? Is it just timing? Is it just because you can't get there? You know, do you have that discipline to be able to commit to doing it consistently? And a lot of times you might be able to have the discipline, but your emotions make you question yourself, right? Because yeah, we're intelligent, but we have emotions too, and emotions can make you be unsure when it comes to what am I doing today? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Maybe this isn't it. Okay, well I'm gonna just fall back until it makes sense later on, or I'll just wait until it's time to do again, or I'll just wait until I get somebody else to come with me to the gym and show me what to do, or I'll just put it on hold until X, Y, and Z. It's always an excuse because for whatever reason it is that you tend to have, you're looking for a way out all the time. You know what you need to do, but then you start looking for a reason to say why you shouldn't do what it is that you need to do. You see what I'm saying? Trying to stay out of the gym for whatever purpose that you have that came up that suits whatever excuse it is that you needed. And so keep that in mind. Sometimes when you're not seeing results as fast as you want to, a lot of times guys will switch up their workouts and say, okay, well, that workout wasn't giving me results in 2 weeks. So now I'm going to do a whole new program. What? 2 weeks? You can't have a program for 2 weeks. You got to stick to it for a long period of time. When I say a long period of time, I mean like 4 months or so. Stick to something for 4 or 5 months and then say, okay, did this work or not? You got time, like you're never going to see the results in a couple days. Like you're never going to see them in 2, 3 days. It's going to take you a while to see the results anyway. And so if you focus on it and act like they're going to come, but you put your head down and don't worry about if you have the shape or not. What I like to do all the time is I'll wear a long sleeve or a thick hoodie or something like that when I'm in the gym. Like right now, I know I'm not in my best shape that I would like to be in. So when I go in the gym, if I'm feeling whatever insecure or if I'm feeling like, okay, I'm not my best, and so I don't want y'all to see me like this, I'm still gonna go in there, but I'm gonna just stay covered up until I'm ready to come about the shirt again. You know what I mean? So until I'm ready for the big reveal. But it's not gonna deter me from going in there because I'm not seeing results from my workouts or whatever. I'm still gonna keep on going, and you still gotta keep on going. Um, and the thing is, the last thing is you got well, not the last thing, but you have to always keep in mind, that when you're not seeing results, it makes you question whether or not your routine is working or not. And so it's unfair to your routine and for you to be questioning yourself because your routine could possibly work. But because you question yourself, you talk yourself out of getting to the end goal. And a lot of times, like you're close, like you start seeing change, you're getting right, it's working for you, you get consistent, and something happens, you fall off, and it's hard to get back to that vibe again. It's hard to get back to that routine, that vibe that you were doing that had actually everything flowing and working smoothly at the time when we actually were getting in shape. And so maybe you can't, revive that same feeling. Maybe your circumstances are different at this point in time, right? But regardless, you can still keep those same principles that came with that workout. So if you were doing something that you can still do today, you can add that back in and do that thing too. And make sure that you're doing it consistently so that that's part of your program. You see what I mean? It's part of your workout program. And remember, everything can work. Like, whether it goes from CrossFit to bodybuilding and weightlifting to, swimming and gymnastics or whatever, if y'all just want to do calisthenics or lifting, all of that stuff can work. Like if you couple it with a diet, you'll lose weight. Couple it with, or you'll gain weight, regardless of whatever it is. Like all of it can work though. So don't think that you got to always switch up your program to find the one that works best for you. It's not about that. Sometimes you already know what works best for you, but you just won't see it through. So make a checklist. Make sure you're doing everything. Did you start off with your calves? Did you do your forearms? Did you do your neck? And then did you do, all the other muscles that you need to do? And so keep that in mind if you know that that's what you needed. You feel me? Um, and the thing is, like when you're unsure, when your brain tells you you're unsure, a lot of times we know what it is that we need to do. But as soon as you think about, oh, I need to do that, or I know I remember I was looking good when I was doing these exercises, what happens is you can immediately talk yourself out of it just that fast and forget everything. And you'll be like, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I'll just go back to my default. I'll go back to what I'm comfortable with. And when you go back to what you're comfortable with, now we're back to no growth again. Right. And so, don't get easily distracted because you don't know what to do. Make sure you have a short set plan of what it is that you're going to be working on when you go in the gym. And when you go in there, stick to it. Don't deviate. Don't play with it. Don't do anything different. Stick to it like an old person. You know what I mean? Get a routine like an old man. And the last thing is, when you have a goal, and keep this in mind, and hopefully this motivates some of you guys to keep on going. When you have a goal, you want to assume it's coming, but don't put a date on it. Like if you put a time on, okay, I need to get in shape by the summer. I need to do this before this date. That type of pressure, it's not good for anybody because what we're trying to do is make a lifestyle. And the lifestyle is the one thing that you can do forever. You start having a date for your stuff and start putting a timeline on it, that pressure, that anxiety, now that you've added to, just trying to get back in there, now you got to get back in there and you got to hit goals and dates and stuff like that. That's too much. Just focus on having a good performance when you go in the gym. Like get in there, have your best performance ever, have the most focus you can have when you were doing it. Like tune everybody out, really, get into your workout and feel how that feels when you leave out of there. And try to continue replicating that feeling. And when you can continue replicating that feeling, then you'll be good. You just don't want to go in there and be flip-flopping. You see what I mean? So keep all those things in mind, and don't let big goals or whatever type of goals deviate you from getting to your plan, because it's going to come regardless if you stick to it. And that applies to everything. If you can stick to something, and you're doing a quality job long enough, it's going to start working. But you and only you know what it is that you need to do. It's not like I can come up with a program for you and be like, oh, yo, you need to do this. No, you know what you're doing at that time when it worked out for you, and this was growing and this wasn't growing, and you were getting these results. So keep all that stuff in mind. And if you can, make a chart, or go into your phone, go into your app, or write a list of all the things that did work and how, no matter how crazy it was. Like, for example, I know that pullovers work great for me, and it's hard to find a pullover machine out here. But if I got to do them with dumbbells, I will. But I just know that pullovers work great. And sometimes I'll forget that, oh yeah, pullovers did work great. Well, how come I'm not doing those? Because maybe something else seemed easier, maybe because I started off starting over again and I never got back into it. But I have to remember, okay, let me add in these workouts that I know were highly effective for me each time, so that I can keep on continuing to grow. Because the goal is to only do what works and to kind of filter out and funnel out all the stuff that's not going to work for you. That way you can get to your goals. So hopefully everybody learned something tonight. If you did learn something, please share it with somebody else who you know, or feel free to leave what you learned in the comments or something like that. And thank you for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, download your ebooks, and I'll see you guys next Friday, same time. Hopefully you guys learned something again. Thanks for watching. All right.